Halloween. This was a really good game for us, one we needed badly just to get it home and have fun with the fans and all of that, but it was a really well-played game for us. Defense did a fantastic job all day long, really across the board, and just did what we'd hoped they would do. We continue to get better. We can see it. We're proving it, and we need to keep counting on it as we head into the second half here. We officially started the second half today, by the way. That's the way we look at it, and but it was a really nice job. A lot of guys did a lot of good stuff. The coverage was solid, and the rush was we didn't get to him much, or we didn't sack him much, but we harassed him all day. The other side of this game that jumps out is Gino. And geez, what a game he had. Starting off 14 for 14, and a throwaway was the first incomplete. He was so calm and so poised and just delivered the ball so well. This was really Gino at his best, and that's what we can count on from him. And we were able to do a lot of stuff. Shane had a really nice plan for him to pop the ball around. The guys caught the ball really well today. All the receivers made their catches and all. And Locke has the big day on this day with the yardage and catches and all that, and DK has 2 scores. So a lot of really good stuff there. So I was really proud of Dwayne Brown, who was sick all week long, and made it out there, wasn't able to practice during the week, and just sucked it up and played and did a nice job. I think what was also of note was our special teams, our kickoff coverage team is, man, they're lights out. They're playing so hard and so consistently, and we're counting on their juice and their energy and all of that. We talked about it last night in the meeting, called them up and, the whole thing, and to challenge them to have a big game again and kind of set the tempo, and they did. It would be really wrong to not mention the great heads-up play that Travis Homer made on the kickoff team there. Kickoff return team, and knocked one in the end zone just to have some fun and enjoy the heck out of the day.
You mentioned Tyler, but for him to get going the way he did first half, just I know it kind of can be up and down which receivers have in the day, but good to see him get going like that.
Yeah, and he made a lot of tough catches over the middle and stuff, to keep the ball moving. Then he made some great plays down the sidelines. I don't know. You guys saw better than I saw the touchdown. Was a touchdown? Whether it was a touchdown or not, I don't know. They quickly decided that it wasn't. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't. But that's too bad because it would have been nice for him to get that one. But it did lead to the Gino leap, which was really kind of poetic, and all that. So it was just a fun day, and I'm really glad that we got it. As going into the bye, our guys deserved to have fun. We had a great locker room after the game, and we'll come back around to go.
It looked like Gino made some tough throws.
He did. Yeah, he did. He made some tough throws. We needed to put a big touch on the ball, and the ball's on the sidelines to Locke, and he was just so good today, and I'm so thrilled for him. I was thinking about it late in this week that had preseason worked out right, the plan was for Gino to play all 3 games in preseason and to play a lot, and I was going to play him as much as I could just to get him as much play time because he hasn't played. And remember, he gets knocked, I think it was probably at the end of the first quarter, beginning of the second quarter of the first game, so he misses all those opportunities. So he plays half this, or some of the Rams game, and then a full game. That would have been the same thing. It would have taken the same kind of play time that we thought he would need for prep to get ready for the season, knowing he was going to take a backseat to Russ. And so you look at it, he did pretty well against the Rams, did some good stuff the next week and good stuff the next week, but not enough. And then this week he put it all together. So I think it took him this long. He hasn't played enough football. He just hadn't played in a long time. So unfortunately, it was we had to lose some games in here in the meantime, but.
It's obviously a team result, but just for him personally to get a win, I mean, how good do you feel for that?
Yeah, I think it's a huge accomplishment for him. As we've been saying that we need to play in support of Gino. He's coming out trying to figure out how to get back to playing quarterback again, and we need to help him in every way. I thought the game plan was really good today for that. You saw us in the weather and all that last week. We were just concerned about making sure that we took care of the football. Our offense did not turn the ball over again, and that's incredible discipline by those guys. When there's nobody doing that in the league, and our guys just keep on doing it. So Gino's right in the center of all of that, so.
His decision-making seemed to be very good today. Was that something in the scheme, or was that just him getting the game experience?
I really think that last week was hard. It was a hard game, and just all of it was a hard game, and he benefited from getting through that and just came in really chilled and calmed his way through all of it. I thought if you look at the throws that he made in this game, there were some really good touch balls that he threw. Gino is a strong arm guy. He fires the football hard a lot of times, but he picked the right opportunities to take something off the ball to make him catchable for the guys, and the guys came through in a big way. He's got a groin pull of some sort, some kind of groin strain.
Did he have come back in the game?
No.
What'd you see on DK's first touchdown catch?
I really couldn't see it. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to really. It looked pretty awesome from the glance that I got, but I didn't get to see it.
What about dropping so many in the coverage seemed to work today against the rookie quarterback?
Well, we pretty much did what we've been doing, Greg. We haven't changed a whole lot. We've been playing this way for a long time now, and mixing our stuff and doing a nice job of changing our coverages, disguising them well. We disguised a lot today. We're in and out of stuff, and we pressured, from those looks as well, which we like doing. And I thought we had him a little out of whack, for some of the time there. And he had a nice finishing drive. I guess you can give him credit for that.
Gino hasn't won a game as a starter since the last game of the 2014 season.
Is that right? 2014? Where were we at 2014? Holy cow. That's a long haul. But, that's my point. My point is that he hasn't played, Go ahead, ask your question.
Yeah, I was just going to say for him to ultimately get one on his belt after all this time.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a great day for G, and he just deserves it. He's been such a great Seahawk and all of that, and really he played his way to this game. Nobody gave him nothing. He earned this thing today by playing great football.
What do you think of Darryl Taylor in his first game back?
He was really active. He had a couple great rushes when moved the quarterback and all that. Didn't get a sack, but I thought he had some terrific rushes today, and I thought he was a big factor.
We could hear the music bumping and how excited that locker room was after a win like this. What does it do for morale just heading into the bye week of season to finish the first half on a strong note?
Yeah, well, we have a lot higher expectations than where we are right now, and like I think I might have said to you guys, that being undefeated as the bye is always the way you should set your expectations. But we've been so close for so long, and I mean we're just one play from having it like that, and then so everybody had fun. This was not like the craziest locker room we've ever had, but it was really fun. It was really good, and they knew that they got a little boost out of the deal by getting Monday off too. So tomorrow, and so I kind of stoked the fires a little bit with them, So we had fun, and it was good.
What did you think of the way Ethan Posted played?
I can't tell you. I don't know. I'm really excited to watch the film. I'm really anxious to see how he did, and also to watch Trey as a starter today too, and see how he did.
With his pick today, Quandre Diggs became the first player in the NFL the last 5 years to have 3 or more interceptions. What does that say?
Really, good for him. Good for him. He got a whole half a season coming up too. So, yeah, he's a fantastic football player, and he's a terrific teammate. God, I mean, he's just such a stud of a teammate. There's some guys that when they say stuff, everybody listens. He's one of those guys, and people respect him because of who he is and how he does what he does and how he works his business and all. And so for him to have success like that is great. He deserves every bit of it, and he's a fantastic player. He had a couple great hits today, tackles today too, along with it.
Are there guys who kind of just have a knack for that? I feel like a lot of his picks are like, oh, that looked easy, but he's always seems to be in the right spot for it.
Absolutely. Yeah, there are guys that have been there before, and when the opportunity arises, they just totally cash in. And there's other guys that it's hard. They're not accustomed to it, and so sometimes they tense up or they're not sure how to handle it or make the decisions. I've always thought there's guys that are interceptors. They're guys that just do it and they know how to get it done. He's truly one of those guys.
What specifically has worked for the secondary as you guys have kind of made this turn over the last month or so?
Well, I would think that moving DJ back to the right side was a really good thing that happened. He plays better over there for whatever reason. That was part of it. And then I think that the play on the left side has just elevated. I mean, the combination of the two corners play has really elevated. Quandre and Jamal have been playing, and they've been busting their all of this time. I don't think that they've improved that much more, but I think we're fitted together better. As well as, remember, one of you guys brought up a while back about Ryan Neal. Ryan Neal's played a lot more, and he's been a factor. I think he's been a factor for sure on third downs, and he's a playmaker, and he's really active out there, and plus he can match up with a lot of different guys and all that helps us. So I think all of those things together have been what's made us improve, and I think we've zeroed in on what's best for us too. That's the biggest thing that we've done.
And how much has the communication improved since you've moved? The cornerbacks here.
I don't think that was the issue. I just think we just need to play together and get out there and all that. Somebody brought up that we had problems with communication, but I'm not here anymore. So I don't feel like that's ever been an issue. So I don't know that we're that much better at it, but I think just in general, the guys they're feeling one another and are playing off of one another better than we have, and that's all part of the chemistry that comes together when you play well, and we're getting there. We're getting there, and Jordan Brooks continues to play really well, and he's a big factor for us, and in a lot of different things that he does. Bobby's continued to just he knocked out 14 tackles again today, another huge day. Those guys are really fitting together well, and that's part of the improvement. We haven't mentioned much about that, but Jordan is really good. He's a really good player, and he's way more comfortable now. You just think he's got all these games under his belt. He's much more comfortable, and he's doing things well, more consistently.
So the familiarity has improved as opposed to the communication.
Yeah. I don't think, we're just better. We're just better at everything, and we're clearer, and the communications are probably more precise and more accurate and more, on point, and so it just helps everybody. The fluidity of it, fits in much more obviously. So.
Homer's returned it. How much is that? How much is he coached to do that versus him just doing that on his own? Travis Homer returning the kickoff.
Well, it actually popped up on our Saturday walkthrough. See, Brian Cushing scored against the Rainbows in Hawaii a few years back in our SC days, and in practice yesterday, we kicked one. Homer picked it up, and I was telling some guys, hey, this happened before. Brian Cushing did this years ago. I was just having fun with it. And sure enough, there it goes, bang. So you never know.
Do you have anything on the severity of the DJ's groin?
No, I don't.
Any other injuries?
No.
How disappointed were guys on defense to have them score late when you're close to a shutout?
Say it again.
Just how disappointed were the guys?
Oh
on
yeah,
defense?
we were just a couple snaps away from being out of there. It would have been really fun to get the shutout, but they're hard to get.
Was today, on a whole, reassuring that you can get back to this, or is that overstating?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I've been seeing it and feeling it for a month now, but we just haven't been able to cash in and get it done. We have so many good numbers that are supporting good play. Our penalties are down. We're taking care of the football. We're staying in the plus on the turnover stuff. Our kicking game is really solid. All of that. And so it's hard to get all those elements. Check out the DVOA numbers and see where we are. We're way higher than you would think we are for the record that we have, and that's because we're doing a lot of things well, and it just hasn't, for whatever reason, translated into getting these wins in the close ball game. So, and honestly, I know I don't want to go dwelling on this one, but we've missed Russ too. We've missed him in this 3-week span, and he's a pretty good player, So,
For Russ?
I don't know any updates right now, but his finger looks way better. It's really healed tremendously, and so he's getting closer. We'll see what happens.
Does he stay with the team more than he would a normal bye, or what's the plan for him?
No. He's kind of got a vagabond following. They'll travel together, So he's got all these people going with him. Vagabond? That's not the right word. That's not the right word.
Anything else?
Yeah, give me. See you guys.
How you doing?
Good.
How'd that feel?
Win. Unfamiliar feeling, but glad we got one under our belt.
Hey, DK, what was it like getting the better of your former teammate, Shaq Griffin?
I don't think it was the better. I got the better of him. It was just a good battle out there. I had 2 opportunities to score, and, the ball just landed in my hands. But it was always great to go up against Shaq and, a former teammate.
Was that a koala bear reference? Goalpost?
A little AD reference.
Right.
Yeah.
You know he got penalized for that?
I didn't know that, but it won't happen again. Yeah, now I do. It won't happen again.
How good was Gino today, especially that first half?
Right. Gino's been great, throughout this whole span while Russ has been gone. But, just for him to get his first win, it's great. It speaks volumes, about his character and about how he carries himself throughout the whole week.
Do you expect Shaq to shadow you as much as he did? Was that?
Oh, yes, sir. He's one of the best corners in the league. So, I would expect him, to shadow either me or Tyler.
Pete said that one of the things that's sort of been a conversation these past few weeks is get these wins for Gino, support Gino as he tries to figure this whole thing out. How has that been a rallying cry in this locker room to keep fighting after some frustrating and disappointing losses?
Right. This is the NFL. Everybody's good. Everybody has good teams, good players. So, just for Gino to come in here while Russ is gone and just get his, get his feet wet, just get his first win. Because, we're all used to Russ, but, just gathering around Gino, just supporting him through practice, through, if he makes a bad play or, we drop a ball, it's all about, coming back together, just sticking together throughout this adverse time.
just talked about how much the guys in the locker room respect Quandre for a multitude of reasons. Why do you and some other guys just have such a high respect for him?
I mean, he can talk smack. You know, he comes to work every day. He's gonna hit, and he's gonna, you know, track the ball and catch interceptions. He's just a great football player. You know, a lot of people respect great football players.
You and Tyler, it seems like maybe from week to week, depending on what a defense are doing or different things, you or Tyler might have the bigger game. Just for him to see him have that big game like that, how good was that after maybe a couple quiet weeks for him?
I mean, it felt great, especially just for him to, you know, just get the ball and, you know, just capitalize on his opportunities. I think I saw he had 13 targets and, you know, he caught 12 of them. So, I mean, it just speaks volumes of, you know, the type of work ethic he has.
Can you take us through the first touchdown catch? I mean, I think a lot of receivers your size might just tell their quarterback, throw it up.
Right. You know, I've been here for a while, and that was the first time, you know, probably got a pass like that. And, you know, it just felt great just to come down with it. You know, it starts with trust, and that was displayed out there.
So that was, what do you mean, the first time you got what do you mean? First time you got a throw like that?
Like, you know, I'm a big receiver, so, you know, it was just like throw it up and let me go get it.
How's your foot feeling? Pete said that you would benefit from getting some rest on the bye. How's your foot doing?
My foot's good. Good.
Did you realize Gino completed 14 in a row there to start the game?
I didn't until the end of the game, and you know, that's amazing. For him to just dial it up, short passes, long passes. I mean, he was in his zone.
How comforting is it just, or tough for defenses to cover you and Tyler? You know, and what does that do when you guys go into a game knowing you can do that dynamic duo thing?
Right. I mean, like I said, man, everybody's good in the league, but, you know, we got two good receivers, you know, along with Freddie Swain, Penny Hart, whenever we need a blow. So I believe we're stacked at receiver, stacked at the skill position with, you know, Gerald and Dis. So it's going to be hard to guard us, you know, especially when Russ gets back.
How did you react to learning you got fined after the Saints game?
I got called on it 2 days ago, and I didn't do nothing. So I'm waiting for my phone call with the league. Yeah.
Any other questions?
Trick-or-treaters over here.
Communicating at a high level, everybody knowing their assignment, everybody doing their job, and, you know, just flying around the ball. You know, when we're clicking on all cylinders, everybody, you know, communicating at a high level, understanding what situation is coming, where we're at on the field, playing situational football. That's when we're special.
One of the things that both Pete and DK said is that in the last few weeks, really rallying around Gino and supporting him as he tries to become the starting quarterback for you guys has been a rallying cry. Why is he such a person that's easy to rally around and to rally for?
Well, Gino is a guy full of confidence. You know what I mean? Gino's been through it all. You know, he's had ups and downs throughout his career, but he stays steady. He keeps working, keeps his head down. Doesn't really, you know, focus on the outside noise. That doesn't really matter. He just, you know, he continued to work his butt off. And, you know, his opportunity came. And when he got in there, he showcased it.
Considering the struggles so far for the team, could this be a turning point kind of game, do you think?
Say it again?
Could this be a turning point kind of game for you guys?
Yes. I was trying to go back to the beginning of what you said. I'm just trying to clarify this.
Okay. Well, considering the struggles so far leading up to today.
Right.
Could this be
Yes, I think, again, this is one game. We're going to keep our head down and continue to grind and continue to get better. Obviously, we have a bye coming up, but this is a hell of a win. Great start.
Jamal, after the game, you walked out to the fans, and you looked like you stayed a little extra after the game, talking to the fans. What's that relationship for you, and what was that like for you guys doing your first home game?
Yeah, because it's bigger than me. It's not about me. You know what I mean? It's about, the kids, obviously, the fans in the building supporting us through thick and thin. And, obviously I was a kid. I was once a kid. I once had a dream. I dreamed big. Obviously, I made my dream come true. So I just, I hope to inspire kids in the stands, and hopefully one day they're doing the same thing I'm doing. That's what that's about.
Did you say anything to any one of them in particular, or just?
I didn't really get to exchange words. There's so many people, trying to grab and, call my name and whatnot. But I just wanted to, just show love and just hopefully to inspire. That's what I love to do. I love to inspire those around me, especially kids, because, again, I was once inspired, and it took me a long way.
What did you learn about your teammates during the losing streak?
I learned a lot. I learned how they, how they bounce back. I learned how they tie their shoes. I learned how they put their helmet on, uniform, a little bit of everything, man. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, we know who we are. You know what I mean? We know exactly who we are as a team. When we put it all together, and we go out there and execute, we're a pretty good team.
Jamal, what were some of the little things you started seeing in the last couple of weeks that made you think that the defense was starting to find it and get to this point where you had a performance like this today?
Yeah, again, it's just about executing. You know what I mean? Everybody in the league runs the same defensive calls in different ways. Everybody runs cover 2, everybody runs cover 3, man, whatever it is, invert. It's just about executing at a high level and everybody doing their job. And then just the special players making the special plays. You know what I mean? Hats off to Diggs. Diggs is doing his thing. It's no shocker to me. He's been doing that for a long time. He's been under the radar. He's finally getting his love that he deserves. So I'm happy for him. But it's just the special players that's going out there and shining and making things come true.
It seems like the pass defense has really taken off the last few weeks since Trey Brown has gotten in the lineup. How has he impacted that secondary here the last 3 games? Well,
Trey's doing a phenomenal job as a rookie. Coming in, he's very mature for his age and his football IQ. He's only getting better. I'm excited for him. We're really hard on him. We push him to limits, and we just for us in the back end, we want him to be great. That's what we preach in our room is greatness, and just doing the little things right at all times. But he's going to continue to learn. He's going to continue to make plays, and just having him out there is definitely a blast.
What does that mean you're hard on him? What does that look like?
What does it look like?
Yeah.
Just making sure he's doing the little things at all times. You know what I mean? I can't give you that example right now, but just making sure he's honed into the details. He's communicating at a high level. He's understanding situational football. That's what it's about.
He's made some pretty big tackles out on the perimeter already in a few games, like today on the wide receiver screen out there
Right.
to slip a block and make a play. For a guy he's not super big, to be willing to go up and make plays like that, what does that speak to you guys in the back end?
Well, again, size doesn't matter. Doesn't matter in all sports. It's about will and want to. It's about your mentality. When you step out on the field, you gotta realize that you're the baddest walking. You know what I mean? That's got to be the mindset. So when he goes out there, he knows what's at hand. He knows his job and his opportunity. And he's doing a phenomenal job. I'm happy for him.
What kind of boost will it be for you guys if you get number 3 back coming out of the bye?
I mean, shit, you tell me. I mean, damn. I mean, come on, man. 3 is 3. He's that guy. But again, I know what he's going through with that finger. I'm still going through it, obviously, but I know exactly what he's going through. He's pushing. He's doing everything he can to, get back on the field with us. But until then, we got to hold it down, man.
What's that been like for you playing with the finger surgery, the shoulder surgery? What's that been like for you so far?
Yeah, it's been tough, obviously. But in life, there's a lot of tough things that you go through. You just got to figure it out. You know what I mean? No one really cares. No one really gives a damn about my finger, So at the end of the day, I got to figure it out. So I'm out there battling each and every day.
Did you talk to Russ about that when he suffered that injury?
I just kind of like scratched my head like this, like, damn. I know what he's going through. You know what I mean? Pain in the finger. Yeah, it's tough, man. You think, you kind of take your fingers and your, little movements for granted at times. And, it's taught me a lot. So I know exactly what he's going through. But mentally, he's on another level. He's doing a phenomenal job, and can't wait to get him back out there.
Having experienced that injury before, how do you think that impacts him coming back trying to hold a football? Obviously, different job responsibilities than what you have.
Yeah, I don't really know as far as how it's going to affect him. It affects everybody in different ways, but I think he's going to be fine. You know what I mean? He can grip the ball and shoot that moon ball out just like he always does. When he gets back, I just can't wait to see the show and witness it. So, looking forward to it.
Did you have the same kind of pin that he has?
So he tore the mullet. So he's on top of his finger, right? I tore the middle part, so my finger looks like that. So I can't bend my finger, so he can bend this top portion. Again, at the end of the day, man, I'm a savage, bro. I do this, so I figured it out. He'll be back.
Got some plans for the bye?
Yeah, I'm going to France. Bonjour. Did I say that right? Bonjour.
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 There you go.
Why France?
Say it again?
Why France?
Oh, man, I just want to go out there, kick back, look at some nice stores, get some great food, sip some wine. What you think?
I just think that's not a common NFL bye week.
You don't think so?
I'm curious, yeah.
Oh, man,
It's a little
bro.
more sophisticated now.
I mean, sometimes you want to do what you want to do. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Au revoir.
Bonjour.
Au revoir. That's
By the way, I'm not going to France, man. I'm going home.
Are you going to France with
Nah, I'm going to Texas. It's the only place I want to go. Oh, man, it was good.
Can you take us through that interception?
Film study, knowing Bev, knowing Shotty, knowing that they were going to try me. I mean, I'm an aggressive player, so team's going to try. You see New Orleans tried the same thing last week twice. And just to let you know, Corbin, I read your little deal last week. I didn't play that wrong in the post, so you should up that grade. Just film study, knowing that, the Rams beat me on that last week. I mean, the Rams beat me on that last year with Cooper Kupp. And just kind of knowing that speed in the slot, knowing Tavon, knowing that, Bev and Shotty, they've been on the other side of seeing me at practice and knowing how aggressive I am to run fits and things like that. So kind of slowed myself down a little bit this year and just know that, teams are going to try that type of play. And people can say he threw it to me, but I actually jumped the route. And, that's the IQ that I play with. So it looked like he threw it right to me, but I actually jumped the route.
I was going to say, sometimes your interceptions might look like, oh, that's easy, they threw it out, but how often is that a case of?
It's a lot. A few of them last year, I wasn't even supposed to be over there. And it looked like the quarterback threw it to me, but I just ran to kind of knowing where he was going. So I think that's the IQ part that, people don't see. That's just my game.
Beating the quarterback there, you stayed behind the receiver until he threw it, then you cut right in front of him.
I wouldn't say baiting him. I knew the route was coming. They tried to hit me with a dig and a 7 earlier in the game with Marvin, and I played that. And so I knew coming back that their next shot play, they were going to try to cross my face. So just getting comfortable and being a safety now. I mean, it's only my 4th year playing safety, really. So I think a lot of people forget that. You know, I haven't been doing this my whole career. I've been a nickel for 3 years in my career and then moved to safety. So I think I'm doing pretty well at the position.
The whole secondary seems to have taken a jump here the last month or so. What do you think what do you attribute that to?
I mean, I think guys just getting comfortable who they are. We knowing our assignments and knowing what we got to do. I think that's what it is. You know, I know a lot of people say, well, they haven't played, blah, blah, blah. But, I mean, I guess people forget what we did to the Rams the first half, you know. So I just let people talk, you know. I've been just quiet and just enjoying life and just knowing we're going to turn this thing around.
I imagine you're aware by now that you're the only, I think, defensive player in the NFL with at least 3 interceptions in the last 5 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, I should ask you, are you aware of that, and what does that mean to you?
Yeah, I'm aware of that. You know, we got a great media team, and they kind of piqued my interest 2 weeks ago when they told me. And for me, it was great accomplishment. You know, something that I wanted to get before the bye week, just so I can go into this bye week and chill and relax and hang out with my daughter. And hopefully I can get to Astroworld next week and see Travis Scott perform. And so, I mean, it's a blessing. Give all glory to God as always, and it's dope that I can just put on for my family and got something that I can brag on to my older brother because my hand's way better than his.
What are you going to do with that ball?
You say what?
What are you going to do with the football?
Oh, we're going to get it painted up, but until now I'm going to hold on to it. Get it painted up, put the accomplishment on the ball, and that'll be something that I'll keep. I keep every interception ball, every turnover that I get, so I keep those balls, and I get certain ones painted up. So, I mean, this is number 17, so hopefully I get 3 more to get to 20, and I'll get that one painted up too.
When you say painted up, what does that mean?
Just get it painted. You can get it painted, a certain part of it, and our equipment staff, they take care of it. Get it painted. Put, Quandre Diggs, interception number 17, only player in the NFL the last 5 years that had 3+ interceptions. So that's what it is. Just a little memorabilia.
You think the Seahawks front office and the decision makers know that, realize that?
Hey man, I just do what I do, man. That's not up to me, I play my game. I go out there, and me and my agent, we let them handle it, and I just stay back, play football, and take care of my family.
You told us this summer you thought that they would take care of you. Do you believe that's going to happen?
I mean, we'll see. Only God knows, and I'm just here to play ball, keep getting interceptions, and it work out how it works out. But they know how I feel about this place, so we'll see what happens.
Trey Brown got his first start. How did you think he did?
I think he did great. I think he's a player that loves to play the game, and it's our job to keep him focused, keep him locked in all throughout the game. As a young guy, you kind of get up, we up, whatever we were, 24-0, you kind of get in the lull and things like that. So it's me and Jamal's job to kind of keep him locked in, keep him focused, and make sure he's on everything. So he's a young guy. He's only really been practicing with us for about a month. So he needs to learn the checks and things like that. So, when it's loud, we can't get all that to him. So he has to know it. But I think he's making tremendous strides. And, he's like a little brother to me because, he reminds me of myself personality-wise when I was younger. So it's kind of dope to see him go out there and making plays and making big tackles and pass breakups. And he's really sticky in coverage.
How do you feel about where you guys are as a team right now? I mean, 3-5 obviously, but every game's been close. You've had to deal with Russell not being there for some of these games.
I mean, of course, we don't like where we are. We know we got a lot of ground to catch up, but if there's anything about this team and organization, since I've been here, we've always been really resilient, and we've always hit a stretch where, we've won 5-6 in a row, and we just stack those wins. So it could be done. We know we can do it, and I think last year having some of the same deals, we started off hot 5-0, 5-1. We lost a couple in a row, and then we got back on track. So I know we can do it, and we got the right people in this build and on this team, so we'll get it done.
With the defense specifically, you said you knew that even when things weren't going well that you would turn it around. What gave you that confidence?
I mean, just the characters that we have in the building, the cast of guys we have, our coaches, They always keep us even keel, never too high, never too low. So we knew at some point we were going to lock in, we were going to figure out what was hurting us, and I think we've kind of put that fire out of the routes that's been hurting us. So for us, we stopping the run game, we getting pretty good and stopping the pass game. So for us, it's just now locking into the small things, different details, knowing route combination, what's coming, and things like that. So once we get there and we continue to improve, I think we're gonna be rolling with something.
Coach Carroll's talked a lot about marrying your pass rush with the pass defense.
Right.
Where do you feel like you're at now coming out of this game and the last couple games as far as getting those two meshes in?
You seen that pass rush today? Them guys were after. You know what I mean? It's crazy that you can sub in different guys and those guys are going to get the quarterback, you know, from Benson to DT to Dunlap to Kerry Hyder and Rasheem. So, you know, even our big guys in Puna, Monet, and Al, those guys are getting to the quarterback too. So it's definitely dope when you can see that. Guys getting sacks, Bobby's rushing and doing his thing, Jamal, Ryan Neal getting sacks. Like, I mean, it's dope when everybody can do it. And, you know, maybe I get down there, go get me a sack one of these weeks.
For the record, you keep getting picks. You can bash my grades all you want.
It's all good. I just seen it, you know. And, you know, I just call a spade. But, you know, there's not too many middle field safeties covering 2/3 of the field. So, oh, yeah, I'm good.
Did you do a jersey swap with Shaq?
Nah, I did a jersey swap with Nevin Lawson. Nevin is my guy, man. We were in Detroit together for, I think, 4 years. And he's a guy that's super tenacious and the guy that taught me a lot about how to play the game and how to have an attitude. And he's the only guy I've ever seen, like, one of our receivers from another team dropped his mouthpiece and he kicked his mouthpiece across the field. I'm like, this dude's crazy. But, like, you know, like, I like to play with that type of guy. But I'm going to send Shaq and Jamal Agnew and Marvin Jones and Malcolm Brown and D. Tiger. I got to send like 4 jerseys over there because those are all my guys. And, you know, Agnew, y'all didn't know, that's my little brother that was a nickel that went to receiver, and he's the best return guy in the league. So we talk every day in the offseason, and it's dope to see him shining. So I miss those guys, and I'm glad those guys are having success.
What did it do for you guys to see Gino get his first win as a starter?
It's dope. You know, he's not as mobile as he was when he was at West Virginia. I told him down the sideline, but it's dope. You know, that's my guy. I remember when I first got traded here, Gino was one of the first people that came up to me, and, you know, I went to introduce myself, and he's like, I know who you are, you know what I mean? Happy to have you here. And so he's always been my guy. He sucks at video games, but really good quarterback, really good person, and I'm happy for him that he has a success, and he's held it down. He's did what he's supposed to do, and, you know, we got to pick it. We pick our brothers up, and he went out there and he's lit them on fire today.
You feel underrated?
I mean, that's for you guys. You know, in my mind, nobody can tell me I'm not the best in the league, so I don't really care what, you know, everybody else say. In my mind, I'm the best in the league, so if y'all think I'm underrated, cool. But I know another guy on our team that I really feel is underrated, and that's 16, and he's been doing it for a very long time, and I think me and him are kind of in the same situation, so you take that how you want.
Can you show the ball up for the camera?
You say what?
Can you show the ball up to the camera?
You want to see this? Yeah, appreciate that, Trevor. Appreciate that.
Andre, how important is giving back to other players in the league? Even this interview, you've talked about little brother here, little brother there.
Right.
How important is that to you?
Man, it's super important to me because I tell these young guys all the time, when I came in the league, I had like the most OG veteran room that you probably can have as a rook. You know, I had Rasheem Mathis, he was like year 13. James Ahedebo was year 9. Josh Wilson, year 9. Glover Quinn, year 7. I had Slay, you know, so I had Creston Butler, he was like year 7. So when I came in the league, those guys, they all took me under their wing and helped me become who I am, you know what I mean? So it's crazy because I still talk to those guys all the time. Glover Quinn is like the second big brother to me, like, of course, my big brother Quinn, but like Glover is like the guy that I modeled my game after when I moved to safety. Of course, Glover and Earl, those are my 2 guys. So it's been dope, you know what I mean? For me, now going on year 7, 28 years old, and seeing these other guys, the young guys, the Trey Browns, the DJ Reeves, the Ryan Neals, and, Ugo and Marquise, and being able just to teach them guys little tricks that I've learned playing nickel and now playing safety. So it's dope to me. I always want to be that kind of guy. Even with Jamal, like me and him been knowing each other for 10 years. So, me and him can have conversations that a lot of people can't have with him, and he can have a conversation that a lot of people can't have with me. But I try to make myself open to anybody and everybody. So I think that's just kind of the teammate that I am. I just want to help everybody.
Anything else? One more thing. Was this last few weeks with all the losing, was that difficult for you guys?
You guys know where I come from. I came from Detroit, so hell, we were losing a lot over there. But since I've been here, we've won a lot, so it definitely was kind of like, it was different. We don't lose here. That's not the type of organization we are, not the team we are. So it definitely was difficult, but you kind of dig in, dig deep, and just know who you are and know that things have changed. The bad only lasts so long before the good comes. So it lasted for a little bit, and we knew we had to turn things around, and we knew we had the team. I've been on other teams where we knew we wasn't really, really good. So coming here has been a blessing for me and for my career. And we're not accustomed to losing, and we don't ever want to be accustomed to losing.
Thank you.
Is Quandre being unfair to your mobility skills?
No, he's not lying, man. A couple times, DN caught me today. I wasn't expecting that. Back in the day, I might have got away. So I told Penny Hart, I'm like, man, I got to get back on the track this offseason, work on my speed again, because I can't have that happen.
Is he lying about their video game skills too?
That's definitely a lie. He's mad because I beat him all the time, so he gets upset. But short man complex. That's how that works.
What did today mean to win as a starter in the NFL again for you personally?
Honestly, it just meant a lot for the team, for the fans. It's not about me. I said that from the beginning. I'm out there just doing my job and, trying to put us in the best position to win. So, the fans were amazing today. On Halloween, they came out. They were in full effect, had the costumes on, and it was great to get a win.
I know it's not about you, but your teammates in the last today, really, they've told us that they really wanted to support you and to rally around you as you try to figure it out and get this first win. What has it meant to you to feel their support since you became the starter here?
Honestly, they've been supportive since the day I got here. I said that the team embraced me, the city has embraced me, and it's honestly refreshing. It's really refreshing, man. Just, with the history I've had and, having gone to, 2 and 3 teams, just to have somewhere to settle in and to, really work and just get to know everybody, it's really refreshing. So, just having teammates these guys are tremendous in this locker room, win, lose, or draw. We stick together. We always play together. We always play to win. And, we got to win today. But just having those teammates like that, man, it just, it makes you want to do the right thing and always try and get the win.
In the moment, were you aware that you had completed your first 14 passes?
I'd be lying if I said I wasn't. I always count. I'm always counting in my head. That's just kind of how I play the game. I've always played like that. I always count. You want to complete every single ball. That's the reality. Coach calls a pass, and I want to complete it badly. And some you got to throw away, just because you're doing the right thing. But reality is, it's in my head. Even in practice, I'm counting. Trying to make sure that I'm completing the majority of my passes.
So did you know by the end of the game, even without having to look, that you had completed 20?
No, I don't have to look up. I literally count in my head and I keep track of them.
So when you're rolling out there at 14 for 14, and they just spent the week yelling at you for taking a sack in the field goal range, are you thinking, well, here goes the streak, I got to throw it away? Were you doing that?
No, not at all. Not at all. It's doing the right thing. Honestly, it's doing the right thing. I'll throw it away if it was 28 for 28 because that's what it takes to win. So. And that's something I need to improve on, from last week. Took some sacks in some critical situations, and I had to get the ball away. And so that was the emphasis this week is, throwing the ball away if you got in trouble. And, I was able to do that a few times.
How different was this game plan compared to Monday night and the wind and rain and all that?
I think it was a lot different. It had to be. I mean, people don't want to take account for the wind and rain, but, I mean, it was real out there. You can't just go out there and try to, fling the ball all over the place. That's not realistic. So today we had a great day, great weather day, and, we were able to get our calls off early. We were able to be aggressive. The pass to Tyler was beautiful. Great call by Shane. And, we were just aggressive at the beginning of the game, and we stayed on it and pushed the tempo. And you could see how it really affected those guys.
Seemed like you really had a
goal of the one you had been stoned by 3 running plays. The call, did you make the call on the sneak, or how did the conversation go with you and Shane?
Yeah, that was the play call, and I was just signaling for us to go for it. We had gotten down there. I think it was critical for us to get 7 in that situation and not settle for 3. And, when you put the ball, in the quarterback's hands, it's our job to get in the end zone. So I just felt like I could dive over and was able to get that done.
You and Tyler seemed to really have it going, especially in the first half. Just what was working so well with that connection?
I think just the more repetition that we've gotten over the past 3 weeks, I've gotten to learn how he runs routes and how he gets to certain spots. And so just repetition. That was the main thing, is just the repetition that we gotten. We spent a ton of time after practice together, me and Tyler, and it paid off, really.
Obviously, not too many guys built like DK in the NFL. What are you thinking of the first touchdown pass there in the corner? Just wanted to give him a shot.
Yeah, just give him a chance, man. Give that guy a chance. He makes some amazing catches, amazing plays. I mean, he's phenomenal. Great player, going to be a great player for a long time. So anytime you got a one-on-one with a guy like that, you just give him a chance.
You guys expect Shaq to shout at him as much as he did?
Well, yeah, of course. Shaq's a great corner, and they rely on him to shut down #1 receivers. He's been doing a great job all year, and that's a matchup we've seen in practice for the last couple of years. So, we knew that was going to happen. So, we just had to make sure that we were aggressive.
You met up with Shaq at midfield after the game.
Yeah, it's always good vibes, man. Another Florida boy, man. Just always good vibes. And Shaq's a great player, like I said. He was battling out there. He was doing his thing, and we just got the best of him a few times.
How much more comfortable have you felt each week, considering the rest that you had leading into your first start?
I'm always, the more you get reps, I mean, that's just the key to life, is repetition. The more you get reps and get familiar with the guys that you're playing with, the better you're going to be if you work at it and you work hard. So I just felt like overall just getting the reps with those guys and, having Ethan in there, and we got a ton of reps after practice as well, I think it paid off. We just got to keep pressing forward. It's one game, not to downplay it. We're happy with the win, but, we get a bye week, get a chance to rest up and, get ready for the, second half of the season. It's going to be big.
You said it's not about you, but is there some validation, though, in being able to go out and play the way you did today and put up those kind of numbers?
I mean, in the words of the great Kevin Durant, man, you guys know who I am. I show you guys every day, man. You see me throw the ball. I mean, I'm not trying to be arrogant or anything like that, but I've done it for a long time. And, you can pull up tape from 2014, me doing the same thing. So this reality is I know who I am. I'm never going to get too big or too high or too low on it. And, I'm never going to listen to anyone else. I have the loudest voice in my head. I know what I can do, and I just got to keep working.
Speaking of 2014, it's your first win as a starter since the last game of that season. To go 6 years without getting a chance to get a W in the column for yourself, it's got to feel good to finally get that.
God is good, man. God is good. He's kept me. He's kept me, and he's gonna keep me in his arms, in his graces. And as long as I do the right thing, I think things are gonna be well.
How was the communication with Ethan at center today?
Communication was awesome. Ethan did a great job. I think with the tempo that we had, just, being up tempo, he was calling out the mic. He was getting the guys lined up and really orchestrating things, and it was great. Kyle's done a great job as well, and Kyle's been battling his butt off all season, even throughout the offseason. So I want to give a lot of love to him as well because he's also a good player. But I think Ethan did a great job today.
The throwback pass from Dallas to you to Lockett, is that a new wrinkle this week, or is that something dusted off from years ago?
I think Russ hit that maybe last year or 2 years ago with Chris. Chris threw it back to him. We hit that, but that's a good play. Honestly, that's a play we've always had in the playbook, and Shane dialed it up at the right time, and it worked.
Quandre was just talking about he's been on some bad teams before, teams that they knew they weren't going to turn it around.
Right.
You've been on some bad teams too. How did you know this team though would be different? What does that look like behind the scenes?
I mean, there's never a moral victory, when you lose, but the reality is the games that we've lost have all been one-possession games. and those are all good teams. I think all those teams won today. So the reality is we've got to, look at it with the glass half full mindset rather than the glass half empty mindset. And so we've got a long season ahead of us, and we can get it done. We got the guys in this locker room to get it done, and we all believe in each other. And to me, that's all that matters.
Anything else?
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Gino.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Gino.
Thank you.
Whew. All right, let's do this.
Just how nice does it feel to get a win after this little stretch you've been on? It's something you guys don't do very often.
Oh, yeah, man, it feels great to finally be able to get a win. If that was something that wasn't going to be able to happen, it's going to be a long week, a long bye week. So just the fact that we got things done, we got to go out there, we were able to get the win, feels good being able to head into a bye week. So that way we could be able to reset and really get our minds focused.
Pete said there's been a bit of a rallying cry around Gino in the last few weeks since he became the starter of wanting to get it for Gino. What has been the rallying cry, and why is he someone that's so easy to rally around?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's kind of like you heard, man. Like, he's been around and played a whole bunch of football. It's not like he's just a rookie that's coming in and trying to figure everything out. Like, he's played for a very long time, and so we know what he's capable of and all that type of stuff. I think the biggest thing is just people can put so many expectations on you and stuff like that, especially when, Russ has been here for 10 straight years. And so for us, being able to rally behind Gino and really be able to, tell him, hey, man, we know what you can do. We know what type of player you are. If you've shown it through your whole entire career, we just want you to be you. And I think that's exactly what you heard him talking about is, he knows who he is. He's going to always be himself. And for us as players, for us as coaches, or whoever, we have to be able to learn how to play through what people do best at. And I think that's what we were able to do today.
Did you think you scored on that first, the touchdown down there?
I mean, I knew it was close. I felt like if he gave me a touchdown, which he did, if they reviewed it, it would have been inconclusive. But somehow they ended up changing it. And, hey, Gino scored. So.
Did you, Gino talked about this. I mean, the game plan was obviously going to be a little bit different with the conditions being better and stuff like that. I mean, did you guys kind of feel going into the game, good to get the passing game going the way you did early? Yeah, but, you never know what to expect when you're going into a game because all it takes is one play and it could change everything. We could run the ball, and if it's something there that we see, we run the ball all day, and so you just kind of got to take what they give you. And we always say that each and every week, but it's true. Some teams will make you run the ball and say, we want you to run the ball the whole game to beat us. And some teams will say, we want you to pass it. And some teams will let you do both. And so you kind of got to be able to scout throughout the game and understand what it is that they're trying to be able to do, but also being able to understand, the game plan that we had coming in and making sure that we're in our right spots and that we're allowing Gino to have enough time to see the field, to see the coverages, with, the play calls coming in so we're not getting delayed games. All of that is being able to help us be successful on offense.
How many of your first 11 plays were runs? Is that the game plan or what the Jaguars are giving you?
Oh, it was runs? I had no clue. But, we trying to make sure that we can be a balanced team. That's the biggest thing that I can say. We don't want to be too heavy with the pass game, too heavy with the run game. I think when you're a balanced team, that's when we're more dominant. That's when it's hard for teams to figure out what it is we want to do. You hear Pete talk about it all the time, but I think at the end of the day, that's really what it is. It's when you're balanced, teams don't really know what to do. And then we know what defenses they're going to play. We know what coverages they're going to do to try to stop us once we learn how to be great at what it is that we're trying to do. And so I think that it was good for us to continue to keep running the ball, regardless of the run defenses that we play, the teams that are really great at it. We're going to keep on doing what we do, and pretty soon that's going to open up everything in a passing game.
From an individual perspective, he only had 4 catches the last 2 games, the first 2 starts for Gino, 12 today. What really clicked for you, that relationship with your quarterback?
That's for every receiver, man. When you go back to the drawing board and you in those weeks and you're grinding, it's really about learning about who your quarterback is, the way that he sees the game, the way that he throws the game, the way that he throws the ball, so that way you can make your adjustments and you can be able to work on, a lot of those things. throughout the first 2 weeks, there was things that me and Gino missed and stuff like that. But we'll go back in the practice. We'll have those conversations. I'll see what it is that he's thinking. He'll listen to me and see what I'm thinking. And then we're able to kind of play off of each other. And so sometimes it takes a few weeks to be able to get that going. But that's what practice is for. If you don't have that communication, it's hard to develop that type of chemistry, especially in a game of football that we play. So the more that Gino understands my game, the more that I understand his game, it helps us to be able to find a middle ground in how we can make each other successful. And that's not something just for me. That's something for every person on the team that's in a skilled position, is that when you have, people at quarterback, you have to learn how to be able to adapt to what they do, what they're great at. But you also have to learn how not to let the game that you play go. You got to be able to learn how to balance your game and how they play and try to see if you can, make it match.
As a guy who's returned to some big kickoffs in your career, what'd you think of Travis Homer's return on those?
Oh, I was shocked. I just knew they were going to kick it to me after we called timeout, so I was ready. And then all of a sudden they kicked it to him again, and instead of him deciding to go down, he was like, I'm going to go ahead and score and head into bye week. So that was a dope play. I think the last time I seen somebody do that was A.J. Brown, maybe last year or the year before. But, hey, the fact that you're able to focus on catching it, then make a person miss while they have nobody in front of them to block, got to give them the credit.
Hey, Tyler, curious what Russ has been like behind the scenes these last few weeks? Obviously, his first time going through something like this.
I think he's done an amazing job just being able to just progress through everything that he's been having to go through. We all know what injuries is like. When we come to the league, they say it's 100%. So everybody's pretty much going to deal with injuries. And so you don't know what you're going to deal with, but all you can do is figure out how you're going to deal with it. And I think mentally, he's won, when it comes to that battle every single day. He always talks about winning, and it's about being able to win in every situation and in every circumstance. And sometimes it looks bad and sometimes it looks good. But, when we're out there doing 2 minutes and he's running the show and all that, it's about figuring out how to win and just finding a way. And so even through that injury, it's the same thing. It might not be on the field at the moment, but it's the same thing. It's just, and it takes you to a different place. Speaking from experience, I've been hurt. I've had to sit out. I've gone through an off season, all that stuff. And so seeing a game without being in the game can also do a lot of wonders for you too, as a person and as a player when you come back.
Anything else, guys?
Thanks, Tyler.
My week has officially started.
Jeff,
Start with the back.
You sure?